making the ultimate F1 track from one corner from every F1 2022 circuit. This means you could have a Rouge from Spa leading straight into the Grand Hotel hairpin of Monaco and then leading directly into, for example, the Senna S of Interlagos. I've picked my favourite corner or set of corners for some of them and combined them into one single ultimate racetrack. This track probably won't be very good as these corners are so great because of the rest of the circuit that leads up to them, but I think this would be a bit of fun, so let's get straight into things. We're going to follow the 2022 Formula 1 calendar and start in Bahrain. There wasn't really a standout corner on Bahrain for me, so I'm going to go with turn 1 due to the amount of overtakes we typically see here. This year with Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, this heavy braking zone in turn 1, we saw a lot of overtakes and passes happen here, so I think this will be an interesting corner to include in the circuit. Next on the list is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is slightly difficult because there's so many corners, there's 27, and a lot of them are very similar and there's not much difference between the corners. As you can see, between corners 4 and 12, this is only sort of 3 or 4 turns, but there's so many corners numbered here, so I've grouped some of these together to make things a bit easier. I think this was a difference between corners 13 and 27, these are the two favourites, but I've gone with corner 27. This is where Max Verstappen crashed on that amazing qualifying lap that was yet to be seen. So I think this is probably the best corner to include on our track. For Albert Park on Australia, I've gone with the chicane that is corners 9 and 10. I think this is a brilliant track and it's iconic in Formula 1. Seeing cars fly through this section, I couldn't leave this out of our track. Imola next, and I've gone with corners 11, 12 and 13, which is Acqua Minerale. We saw lots of drivers struggling this year in 2022, such as Lando Norris and many others, and I think this is an extremely tricky set of corners on this circuit, and this must be included in our track. The fifth track on the list is Miami, and after just having the Miami Grand Prix, there's a slightly underwhelming reception for this track. I think all of the track didn't really have any standout corners. Corners 14 and 15, that slow chicane, really didn't go down well, and hopefully that'll be changed next year. But I'm going to have to go with corner 17 as I think this delivered the most action after the long straight. Similar to Bahrain's turn 1, but due to the surface, drivers really struggled on this corner. Next track on the list is Spain. This is another track with not really any standout corners. There were sort of close considerations, there's quite a lot of sort of medium speed corners like turn 3 and 4 and 12, but I think overall turn 1 probably is the best corner on the track. It's definitely not going to be the chicane that is 14 and 15. This is similar to turn 1 in Bahrain, but I think this will be another great corner to add to the track. We can have a lot of straights as this is going to be a very long track anyway. Next on the list is Monaco. Now I think there's a lot of good options to add to our track because there's a lot of key features in Monaco, but I've had to go with the Grand Hotel hairpin. There are a few other options that I was going to go with, like the Nouvelle chicane or Rascasse, but I think overall this hairpin will add something a little bit different to this track. It's a really slow section and I think this would be interesting to add, maybe after a long DRS zone or coming out of another corner. We can add something a bit different to what we're not seeing at Monaco, and we might see something similar to Canada, which actually leads to great overtaking opportunities. Baku is a good example of where I've taken more than one corner. I've gone for the castle section, which consists of 5 corners, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. I think going up through this castle section will be an interesting addition to the track, and this is probably my favourite part of the race. Canada is next on the list. Again, there's quite a few options on this that I thought were good corners. Quite like corners 2. I like the hairpin at 10, but due to Monaco I thought it would be sort of similar. And there's quite a few chicanes that I like, but I think my favourite is with turns 3 and 4. I think this is quite a high speed and you see drivers flying through this section. I think this will make things very interesting on our track. The final track in this part 1 is going to be Britain. For Silverstone I've used Maggots and Beckett's and lead through to Chapel. I couldn't leave this section out as it's an iconic part of this track. I think this snaking S section can't be left out of our track, and I think this would be great. Like I've said, we've got 12 more corners to go through, so I'm going to release this in a part 2 later this week. These are some of my favourite corners in this section, so stick around for this video, you won't want to miss it. In this part 2 as well, I'll be combining all the corners into the order to make the ultimate F1 track. I'm not going to do it in the order that I chose them. I will sort of add some strategy and think about what order I put them in, as I think this will impact the flow of the track. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Sorry I haven't been uploading recently, I've been away on holiday and also been a bit sick, but I'll be uploading a lot more videos this week and the coming days, so stick around. Also, if you could subscribe, it'd be massive. A lot of my viewers aren't subscribed and this will help grow the channel massively. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.